To conclude today's proceedings, we have invited Anne-Jaap Snijders, AJ, Chief Commercial Officer at Kindred. As you may have heard, Anne-Jaap will step down later this year, and we don't hope, but we cannot exclude the possibility this will be your last Gaming in Holland conference. I think you've been there from the beginning, AJ. So we thought it fitting to invite AJ for a trip down memory lane, looking back at the beginning of the Dutch online market. Naturally, we also look ahead. To help us convince AJ to reveal his secrets, we brought in Konings, who has worked extensively with Anne-Jaap in the past. And gentlemen, AJ and Eric, please come to the stage. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Willem.
Welcome, Eric.
Thank you.
Please take a seat.
Will do. And Willem, before we start, it's at AJ's request. It's his last Gaming in Holland, and he said, you know, every year this has been such a tremendous event. So AJ asked me to ask the people in the room, the good people attending, to give you a warm round of applause for another successful event. Secondly, Willem, you told me to be cautious of time, but I spoke to the captain of the boat. He won't leave until we're done, so no stress. No, thank you very much, everyone who's still in the room. It has been a long day. We're rounding off, hopefully, in a bit of like an informal, colloquial way. We've been looking forward all day to what the market will look like post, the decree and stuff like that. But of course, to be able to look forward, you need to know your past. So that's what we're going to talk about, AJ, about the, let's say, the last decade or 15 years of remote gaming in the Netherlands, market developments, regulation, etc. But it's also your last public appearance on behalf of Kindred, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, take us back, because you've been around for a long time. You came from the world of sports and media. Why did you decide to join an industry which back then was relatively unknown, unregulated, etc.?
Yeah, no, thanks, Eric. And to go back maybe as well, of course, applause for myself virtually here for the rest of the team of Willem and the guys back there. So really great work. Regarding the gambling, and I always loved games and chess, roulette, card games. I love sports. And then sports betting was coming up by Mr. Bookmaker in the Benelux. And I read a lot about it. And there was always one lawyer mentioned in those articles. It was always Justin France.
Justin France?
So,
has anyone heard? No.
And it was already 20 years ago. So I reached out to him. LinkedIn already existed. And we had a drink. And I'm not sure if it was the vodka or his accent from Limburg. Or his knowledge, but it really, I thought like, wow, this is really the industry I want to work in.
So he basically poached you into the industry?
Almost, and it was on a boat as well. So
all right.
Yeah, the circle is round.
Good stuff. And back then, what did the industry look like, or the market in the Netherlands?
Yeah, it was mainly like the guys here before, a lot of affiliates. So we had vrijparkeren.nl, casino.nl. Those were big sites back in the days. You had some media agreements. It was quite difficult to to advertise. There was a lack of knowledge. There was no regulator, or there was het College van Toezicht, but not the KSA. So we could do something as based on the European Union. bwin was really flying due to the sponsorship back then with Real Madrid. Curious to see how they are disappearing in the markets, more like the Betamax right now. Of course, still very big in Germany, but and now more buying brands.
Yeah, and of course, without going into the legal debate again, because I think Willem could dedicate a whole day of conferencing around that. But I think when you joined, you were more or less promised, this stuff is going to be regulated within a year or two. It took a bit longer, though.
Yeah, indeed, in 2008. I was called by Bob van Oosterhout, who recruited me, and he said, the market will open up in 1 or 2 years' time. And it took, for me, almost 13, 14 years. And it was, of course, a tough lobby. You had the lotteries on one hand, the global operators like we on the other hand. And the lotteries had really a strong network. I think they had an upper hand. And sometimes I think we have maybe been too aggressive as well. We hired Robin Linschoten. He did a lot of good things, but as well, he was not that loved in Parliament.
No.
We were quite aggressive in PR. I think we were sponsoring the Cycling Federation and then organizing a press conference in Nieuwsport in Den Haag.
Yeah.
So
remember that one?
maybe
you were opening of the 8 o'clock news, right?
Yeah. So I don't think that really helped as well in the debate in Parliament.
But I remember you told me you got compliments from your family. Like, hey, I saw your face on the news.
Family, but not from Meili Vos.
No. Didn't you? We didn't practice this, but didn't you once almost drive into her with your bicycle by accident?
Yeah. Our lobby agency was on in Den Haag, quite close to the Parliament.
Yeah.
So, and I was wearing the Unibet cycling outfit, but yeah.
And then you almost accidentally took her out.
Yeah, but she was not really enthusiastic. So.
What do you think the Dutch gambling policy would have looked like if you had actually hit her? Would we still be on 20%?
No, 40. Yeah.
Okay. No, good stuff. So Bob gave you a call and he said you want to join. That's interesting. Let me see. I mean, fast forward a bit. It is now 2023. Market is open. Took a long time, but before the market opened, I should put it differently. It didn't go as smooth as you probably thought when you joined. You've been passively available, etc., etc., etc. I'm working towards the date of October 1st, 2021, or maybe the evening before. There was quite a lot of stuff going on. How did you wake up in the morning of October 1st?
No,
with an empty agenda, I assume? Or?
Yeah, it was serenity, totally serenity. And for we didn't got a license, we had to close down our site. So it was really hectic the days before. I think there was as well the Gaming in Holland conference in the Krasnapolski, discussing with lawyers, public affairs, what to do. But it was quite clear that we had to make the decision to pull out of the market with Kindred.
Yeah.
And then there were no calls at customer support. There were no issues. So that was the good part. And I think when I look back, I think it was maybe the best part for the regulation in as well that we and all operators had to go on black. It would have been really strange with licensed operators and non-licensed operators who still be active. My investors won't be happy with this, but I think it would have been a very difficult market, and maybe we would have not a license anyway.
Yeah, but it must have been kind of weird because at the time you were in probably it was 2021, so you were in 13 years. 13 years you're working towards entry on a locally regulated market, and then all of a sudden the market is there. You're not on.
No, but it was good to see that we had a market. Like that was really like there were advertisements, maybe a bit too much, but there were advertisements. I could play on Dutch sites. So and of course we had time to prepare. We had a plan to work on a plan B, and to work that the boys were coming back to town. Yeah. And we had time.
Yeah. You said I could finally place a bet on the .nl. Where did you register?
Yeah, Bet365.
365.
So of course Toto, Bet City, but Bet365 is not a bad product.
Interesting stuff. Hey, and between 2008 and 2021, there's of course a long time span.
Yeah.
As we discussed, regulation took a lot longer than you initially anticipated. How did you keep yourself busy?
Yeah.
In the meantime?
No, but I was happy that I could work for some other markets like Belgium, France, and the UK, and especially the UK. Those guys, they know so much. It was like a college every time I spoke with those guys. So I learned a lot from those markets, and furthermore, we have been preparing with the team to launch and work hard on the application and getting the license, which. Yeah, it's really tough over here. Yeah,
now I of course know you as a guy who knows hard work, but also knows how to enjoy moments and celebrate stuff. What are some of the moments you cherish, the herinneringen, the memories you cherish from that era? Because it was more.
It is.
A bit more vibrant,
I
maybe.
think like we really need to yourself. This industry is really fun, eh? There's so much many players who really love to gamble, and as well in those years I went to the Unibet Open and I met up with the poker players
Was Frank there?
Frank learned me some poker. I gave him some professional tips. So,
but he told you to split the aces, right? But that's a different game. That's blackjack.
Vuile was, it's 7. No, but it's really good. And I went to Cheltenham and betting on the horses. And there you see the customers, the passion for the gambling and the love for the gambling. And that is really good to see.
Is that maybe a small sidestep? Is that maybe what you're missing nowadays? That just the realization that gambling is meant to be fun and that it's not a taboo if you do place a bet or play some poker?
No, I think it's all about going now about regulation, of course, and responsibility, which is important as well. But the Greek guy here, when he said like people are betting during office times, we need to hear more that kind of stories. And maybe next year with the conference, Willem, play some poker or have some more stories regarding the fun gamblers are having.
Yeah, no, valid point. And you mentioned you were engaged in other markets. Of course, you've lived in Malta for a while. You've been in Sydney for a while. Maybe culturally, how does the Dutch punter or the Dutch player differ from, for instance, Belgian players, German players, Australian players? Is there a typical Dutch gambler? Probably pretty vocal in customer service.
I think gambling is quite alike in all countries. People like to bet on football. People like to bet on the singles. They love table games. They love the slots. But what I've seen in Australia, that's bizarre. So the amounts people are staking, and as well in England as well. So we had one time the Minister of Justice in our Malta office, and then we were going to one of the I can say the Betfair office.
Yeah.
They do betting via the phone.
Really?
And he could listen with an agent, and then there was a woman calling, and she said like, I want to bet 20,000 pounds on that horse, and
and the minister was listening in.
Not the minister, but one of the
civil servants.
Yeah. And
proper reality check then.
Yeah, but as well in Australia, the stakes they are doing over there, or the thing they gamble, that's insane. And of course, it's in the heritage.
Yeah, so it's probably more a cultural difference than an emotional difference. Yeah. No, interesting stuff. And well, we spoke briefly about October 1st. You went black. Was a big, shock for. I mean, I was I was still at Kindred, so I know it was a big shock at the time. But nowadays, Kansspelautoriteit is reporting 92% channelization. The market seems already to be in a state of consolidation. How do you reflect on that, and also on the position that Unibet has in the market?
Yeah. No, we are happy with the regulation, and of course, maybe for us easy to say. But with 90% of channelization, and I think Björn and Peter Paul wrote an article about it as well. I think it's working. Gambling addiction has not increased. We still are able to fund sponsoring sport clubs. We have 23 licensees. 9 applications, so more will be coming. So I think we have a good working system. I think Aids to Gambling as well said as well. We have global companies, we have local ones, incumbents. Of course, not everyone will make the same amount of money, but it's a system working. And
system's working, you say?
I think so.
And are you happy with the position you have in the market?
Yeah, we are happy with
the figures that H2 showed.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if...
Oh, you're still, of course, employed by Kindred. You can't disclose it. No. I get it. No problem. Yeah. No, interesting stuff. What's next for you? Because you'll be with Kindred Group until October 1st. I assume you will be doing a warm handover. How do you look at the future of the industry? And also, what's next for you?
No, I think the industry, like I hopefully we don't get too much regulation, but most likely, higher taxes around the corner, and of course playing limits. So really important. But I think the ministry and they are listening to operators and players, and really important that we get limits, but that the customers can adjust their limits based on their behavior, based on their income.
Yeah.
I would love to see more connection with source of funds, but we should have a really good working system, like in UK TransUnion.
Yeah.
That's regarding the industry. Myself, I'm really looking forward to the summer, playing some padel, and I'm a co-owner of a bar, so all invited for a coffee or beer in the Rijnbar, and I love to invest maybe as well a bit in padel.
Okay.
So if you see any opportunity in Europe, let me know.
I know someone who's looking for an investment, but that's probably not what you're. That's not what you tried to say. No, that's a joke. Conscious of time. Final thought. I ask you. Oh no, sorry. Last question. What's your legacy?
My legacy?
Yeah. We didn't rehearse this, so I'm putting you to the spot. What's your legacy after 15 years in?
I don't know. I think it's really great to see this event for the 12 years in such beautiful areas. You've been all around Holland and Amsterdam, and keep this vibe alive with the industry.
Yeah.
And great people. So really great people.
Yeah. Well, you as a sort of final dictate towards me, you asked me, don't champion me too much on stage. I didn't. I just want to share a final thought with you. I think there's more to your legacy than you said. In my view, leadership is the ability to motivate people to become the best version of themselves. I think that's an art that you master. That's not a skill you can learn in academia. That is an art that you master. In my case, you've given me an opportunity to develop as a professional and also as a private person because of that, because of all the experiences I got. But I've seen so many people today who once were either reporting to you or who were directly or indirectly, formally or informally working for you, who have taken massive steps. To other operators, some have started their own companies. There's also one lost soul who's now a consultant for Noga. Forgot his name, but you've had a massive impact on the careers of those talents, and you brushed them into. I almost finished. I know you don't like it, but I'm nevertheless going to finish. You helped those talents become the leaders of tomorrow. So
thanks, Eric.
I would like to congratulate you on the run you had for 15 years. And thank you for the mentorship over the last 14 years, I think it was. And I hope the friendship will last.
Anyway. Exactly.
Big hand.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric, to getting all the secrets, almost all the secrets out of Anne-Jaap. Anne-Jaap, it has been fantastic to see you from a local to a global leader in the iGaming industry. And I think for that, you deserve also a second round of applause. Thank you very much. Just stay. Sorry, blijf even zitten. So, that was really interesting, and I think there will be more stories at the bar later. So we've come to the end of a full day of highly informative sessions, I hope. Before I let you go, once more, I would like to thank our strategic partners, sponsors, our speakers, our friends, our media partners, but also our team. Sarah, Jeroen, Loes, we could not have done this without you, as well as Wouter, Carlijn, Jonas, Sanne, Brechtje, Meerte, TSR, our AV supplier, Paul of AutoQ, and last but not least, the team of Kit here tonight. Thank you very much.